Good evening and welcome to the Vision of Hope show. I am your host and your producer, Debra Ringo. Tune in. We have a great show for you tonight. Tonight we have Tasheena Lee, and we're so excited to have you be a part of the Vision of Hope show. Welcome. What we would like for you to do tonight is just give us a brief background of who you are, just a little bit about yourself, and also we just want that the audience that's listening tonight, we want to say welcome again to the Vision of Hope show. We're excited. This is part 2 of our Real Talk. We had a Real Talk show in December, so we're back with part 2. As I promised you, we would come back with another part, and this is with a great dynamic woman of great achievement, and she's willing to share with you the ropes that she took to get where she is in life. And I believe that she has something that's going to help you tonight to really hold on to where you are, even to realize that there is hope in your situation. So be encouraged tonight as we listen up to Tasheena Lee.
Hello, my name is Tasheena Lee. I am a 38-year-old single mom. I am currently the executive assistant to the chief technology officer for a radiology company in the Hartford area. I was born and raised in Hartford. Currently, I have I'm a single mother for 3 children, 2 grandchildren. I know I don't look like I have grandchildren. And just here to discuss some of life's trials and tribulations that helped me get to where I'm going.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So we in the Real Talk, we spoke of that we would have single moms, and we would have divorced moms, we would have abused moms, moms across the board that has experienced things in life but still found a way to remain and become successful. Okay. And found a way to conquer and kind of work their way through the disappointments of life that life really brings. Life brings a lot of changes, and and life brings a lot of disappointments, but it's life. Right. And we want the audience to know, and we're so happy that they're tuned in, and we want them to know that you don't have to give up in your situation, that there is a way if you choose. But it's a choice in the matter. If you choose, there is a way that you can make it. I hear that you have, I believe you have your bachelor's of science. Correct. With concentration of business, and you're currently going for your master's. That's correct. Amen. That's a wonderful thing. So it lets you know a young woman, 38 years old, mother of 3, a grandmother that doesn't look like one, and that's fabulous because I am too. Hallelujah. But she's a grandmother of 2. So we want to just ask her to share with us some of the challenges that you went through in life too, because I'm not sure if you had to stop and start your career before you completed it. And a lot of times when you're single, and sometimes when you're married, you can't just go to school right like the whole 4 years. Sometimes you got to stop and go back, stop. So just give us a little bit of how you accomplished your degree.
Well, there were definitely some bumps in the road. As I said, I am the grandmother of 2, which lets you know that my daughter has to be old enough to have children. Exactly. I became a mom at couple of months shy of my 16th birthday. I was an honor roll student at the time, but that definitely put a damper on education at that point. My mother was very strict, and she made sure that I still continue my education. But at that point, I'm continuing my education as a mom. Yes. So college definitely wasn't in the immediate future at that time. I had to do what I needed to do for, at that point, a child. Maybe a year and a half later, I became a mom for the second time. I had another daughter. So prior to 18, I had already had 2 children. At that point, it was really about making sure that I could make a living for them. So I, took on odd jobs in order to provide for them at the time. And again, college was nowhere into the foreseeable future.
Right.
Because I had been an honor roll student, I presented myself well. So I was able to talk my way into a couple of decent jobs. I had started a job at the University of Connecticut in a registrar's office, and at the time, the registrar was an older Black woman. Her name was Carolyn Butler. She mentored me and kind of took me under her wing at that point. She saw something in me, and she definitely encouraged me to work for her, but she also wanted to see me do better in life.
Right.
So she convinced me to start taking classes there while I was working there. And I did. I had taken a couple of classes, and within doing so, still working full time, still trying to provide for my children, I realized that it wasn't as hard as I thought. So I would take one class at a time. Financial aid would help for some of that, but I definitely had to make some sacrifices in order to pay some money out of my pocket. But it was a decision that I made, and I kind of stuck with it.
Okay. I mean, this is awesome. I love the fact that, it was a challenge for you. And in life today, life is full of challenges. And your way out was that you said you took some odd jobs. So that says to me you took some like penny ante jobs.
Absolutely.
But you did what you had to do. So if you have to work at McDonald's, work at McDonald's. If you have to work at Walmart, work at Walmart.
Absolutely.
Because it's just a stepping stone, am I correct, to
That's
where
correct.
you were going. So to see where you are today is to say, listen, I didn't start here, but look at me now. I am better than I was. So wherever you are in life today, I hear what our guest is saying tonight, and we're doing real talk here. We're talking as if you are right here with us, because we understand that life is full of a lot of, it brings its bumps and its slopes and its ups and its downs, and sometimes she had her first child at 16, and then she went and had another child at 18. So she was still making it through high school, but you finished high school.
Absolutely.
And then after that, she was able to go and then get a job in a registrar's office. How ironic is that, to fall into a registrar's office to what you need?
I think from Taco Bell, I went to a Subway, but there were a few odd jobs that I had taken prior to getting that job at the registrar's office. So like I said, it was really one of those situations. I had got this interview. I saw it on CT Jobs Now or something. I got this interview, and I had convinced myself, like, you know what, I have to go in there and I have to land this. I need this for me. I need this for my children. And it was really like assuring to myself, like, you know what, this is what I need, and this is what I'm gonna have. I spoke it into existence. I put that positive energy into the atmosphere, and when I went in there, I was stern. I explained to the woman why I was there, and she gave me a chance. She took a chance with me, and I was grateful for that chance. And my way of paying her back was to further my education. Like I said, she saw something in me, and I appreciated that from her. So that was my payback to her.
Right. Okay, so in that, the way that you went, the roads that you took, and the ups and the downs that you took, how did you handle, because in that there had to be some frustration that came along, because you were a student in high school, and you had babies, and then you were still trying to be better. You had these little knockoff jobs,
right?
Which is, we thank God for them now, because they're there to help us get where we need to be. There's nothing wrong with, that's not what we're saying. If you are working these jobs, work them. Work them until you can get where you need to go.
Right.
Okay. So how did you handle your frustration? Because there had to be times that you became frustrated, in what you were doing.
Oh, there were a lot of times that I was frustrated. I didn't have a vehicle at that time, so I was taking public transportation. I was living in subsidized housing. I was getting help from my children's grandmother. She was a big support, as well as my mom. But for the most part, it was really just putting a plan into place. I really had to really put the steps into perspective. I knew what it was that I wanted, and I just had to figure out how it was that I was going to get there. From obtaining that job at the registrar's office and having somebody there to push me and to see more in me, it allowed me to get that same self-confidence and kind of want to push myself. As far as the frustrations, it really was just each time I got knocked down, it was making sure that I got back up and not making those same mistakes. So more than anything, just trying and really having a passion for wanting to do better. And you're not gonna just wake up and go from one extent to the next. You have to climb the ladder in order to get there. But you have to make sure that each step is a step towards the next step. You have to be confident within yourself to say, you know what, okay, this is where I'm at today, but I still see that next step tomorrow.
Awesome, wonderful, I love it. Now, in hearing what you're saying, your frustration was something that was there, but you had a view in mind.
Correct.
You had a goal, you had a
Correct.
plan, and you were making sure that even though you were frustrated, but you still had to reach that plan. And then I'm hearing you saying that there was someone there that saw something in you. When you got that job at the registrar's office, they saw something in you. So they were able to push you by way of saying, listen, if you do this, I'll do this.
Correct.
But I need you to move forward. You know you can move forward. And not only that, but you were planted in the place where you could move forward.
Correct.
So it was easier for you to, so did you, at that time, did you feel like, oh, I'm on a roll now, this is better for me? How did you feel once you got that break? It sounded like it might have been a little break for you there.
It was a break for me there. So the job was a temp to hire job. It was a long-term temp job, I should say. And at that point, the state of Connecticut had a freeze. So I had been working that job for quite some time, and there was no potential to actually get hired full time for that job.
Right.
And as a mom, I had gotten frustrated, and I'm just like, you know what, this isn't securing my future. Like this job isn't long term. Like I really need to start seeking out other things. So I had filled out a couple of other job applications, and once you have a job, it does seem a little easier to get other jobs. So I had started interviewing, and I had landed another job, which at the time had paid me maybe about $5,000 or $6,000 more than that job. And I thought, oh wow, this is great. I had come up, not realizing the cost of education at the time. Like my education was somewhat being offset. So I was thinking, oh, this $5,000 and $6,000 is life, and I'm gonna just move ahead. But I didn't look at the overall picture and everything that I was actually acquiring from working in that registrar's office, all the things that came along with it that just weren't monetary. So I did in fact move on to another job, and it seemed like it had gotten a little bit harder because now education was becoming a little bit more expensive at that point. So it's a gift and a curse, it is. But again, the self-confidence, you have to know what it is that you want for you, and you have to, you can't give up. You cannot give up. Like I said, every time you get knocked down, you have to get back up. And that's the biggest thing, just the self-confidence, knowing that tomorrow you can live for the next day and to do it better than you did yesterday.
Right, yes, awesome. I tell you, we have some dynamic pointers here from our guests tonight, and we want to just encourage the people that are listening to really take in what Tasheena is saying tonight about how she was able to move along in her life, and not saying that it's a bed of roses.
Correct.
And not saying that you're going to wake up one day and everything's just going to be laid out for you, because that's not the truth. But the truth of the matter is, wherever you are in your life today is real. And we have to realize that the realness is there for a reason, because what she's saying in her life, if she moved from one level to the next, but she didn't stop until she got what she has today. So now let me ask you this, and I also look at it as, if you move along and pursue even your associates, your bachelors, or even your masters, or even go on to your doctors, you're making an investment in yourself.
Correct.
And that's a personal achievement.
Correct.
And I can say that with achieving those goals, it builds your self-worth and your confidence, and it allows you to know it gives you what you need, that you can accomplish anything.
Right.
Once you accomplish just that, just even registering for the school is like, oh, hey, it gives you that oomph that you need. And once you start in the class, then you got another oomph. And then once you're getting close to that associate, it's like, oh, I can do this. I really can, So I love the fact that you're sharing with the people that you were able to, even though the downsides came, but you didn't allow that to stop you. You said, don't stop, but keep going.
Well, those downsides are what actually helps get you to where you're going as well.
Exactly.
If I didn't have trials and tribulations in my life, I wouldn't be sitting here the same woman that I am today.
Right.
I use those negatives and those bumps in the roads and those trials and tribulations that I went through and the things that I encountered to help make me better.
Right.
I use those things to look at moving forward in life, to know certain situations or certain mistakes that I won't go back to.
Exactly.
For every good thing that has happened in my life, there's definitely been something bad to happen, but with those bad things, use them to move forward. Use them and turn them into positives in order to go ahead, in order to get to where you're going.
Yes, exactly. And this is exactly what the Vision of Hope show is about. It's about giving hope where there seems to be a hopeless situation. And sometimes the situations are hopeless. If you don't have someone in your life that can help you, because sometimes we get in a low that we need someone to kind of push us a little bit. Correct. To say that you can do this. You have this, that, and the other. Sometimes we need somebody else to remind us of what we already know. Correct. It's not that we don't know it, but sometimes we need somebody to just whisper it in our ear, right. And it gives us that jump start of what we call it, stirs up what's on the inside, because it's already there. So we want to also remind you that we still offer the courses here at the Vision of Hope show. The courses of building your self-esteem and your motivation and maintaining your self-esteem. We offer those courses in a classroom setting, and we offer the courses on a one-on-one. So we are here, and certainly Tasheena Lee is touching on a lot of things that are being taught in the courses. So again, if you want to know more about the Vision of Hope, if you're interested in the courses, or if you're interested in even talking to her more about what she's been through, you can reach me at my email address. That's debringo@comcast.net, debringo@comcast.net, the Vision of Hope Part 2 Real Talk Show. So we want to hear from you, audience. We want to know that you are getting what you need. We want your feedback. We want your questions, because we want to target wherever you are. If we're not touching on it all tonight, which we probably won't, Vision of Hope will be back again next month. And if we have to do a part 3 of Real Talk, life is real.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it going. That's not a problem. All right. So with that said, we're going to get ready to close. And I would like to close with this. And Tasheena Lee, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you here and to share a part of your life. And also just to, if you could leave some key points with the audience that's listening, I would like for you to do that.
Well, most importantly, I did want to say, education may not be the road for everybody.
Right.
School is not for everybody. So don't think that I'm here saying, okay, everybody, you need to do this, you need to do that in order to get this education, in order to get to where you're going. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. But what I am saying is invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. But more than anything, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what it is that you want, and you have to know how to go out and get it. Once you put that energy into yourself, once you put that energy into getting what it is that you need, you will definitely be able to move forward and prosper in life.
Wonderful. And amen to that. I tell you, I'm so excited because, we're not here for naught.
Right.
But we've been here for about 17 or 18 years for a reason. And that is to reach the people, is to let the people know and allow them into a part of our lives that, you know, the way that we look is one way, but the way that we got to where we are is another way.
Absolutely.
And most of the time, people don't know what you had to go through to get where you are. They just see almost a finished product,
right.
but not realizing you could be sitting right here now going through something. But that's the way life is. But we want you to know how to groom yourself in life. Even in the disappointments, you still have to embrace it and welcome it. Why? Because it all comes at us for a different reason.
Absolutely.
And we're so happy again that you were able to be just real about your beginning, your middle, and a portion of your end, because it's not over yet.
Over.
Because she's still, even though I agree education is not for everybody, but if that happens to be your desire, she gave some great pointers that it's going to be rocky, it's going to be up and down, but you can do it. Absolutely. So we want to just encourage you tonight to just hold on to your dreams, hold on to your visions, and don't let go. Can you just give us the ages of your children?
I have a 23-year-old daughter, a 22-year-old daughter. She just turned 22, and a 15-year-old son.
And the ages of the grandchildren?
They're 5 and 2.
Okay, did you see that smile? When I say grandchildren, that's what they do to you. So you're looking at a fabulous young woman, 38 years old, and she's accomplished a lot in life. I find her to be a dynamite woman. That's why I brought her on the show, because I knew that she would have something that would encourage you as a people, as listening, and you know, sometimes we don't say a lot of things that we're going through. Right. But one thing about it, life is life, and it brings all of us challenges. We have two nice young ladies here that happens to be my grandchildren, and I will allow them to introduce themselves. And we'll start with the one on my left. First one.
My name is Danaye, and I'm 15.
Okay, Danaye. Glad to have you. And?
My name is Dream, and I'm 8 years old.
You're 8?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a nice age. So, Danaye, can you just give us just a little bit about what you do, what you like to do, and what your goals are in life? Because you're 15?
Yes.
So you're in what grade? Ninth grade. Okay. So what would you like to do, and what are you aiming for, and what's some of the nice thoughts in your mind?
Well, for sports, I do cheerleading, and
how long have you been cheering?
Since I was 4.
4 years old. Okay. All right. So what are some of the goals you have accomplished, or the awards you've won, and all of that with cheering?
In 2014, I went to Disney, and it was for nationals, and we took third place. And every state competition that we...
So now, I'm sorry. So nationals was where?
In Disney.
So you went to Disney, and what place did you take?
Third.
I didn't hear you.
Third.
Out of nationals, you took third place.
Out of 50 teams.
Out of 50 teams, you took third place.
Yes.
So how did you feel how did it make you feel as a person, and then how did it make you feel with the team?
Well, as a person, I felt like I accomplished something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
And as a team, I feel like I didn't let my team down at all.
Okay, awesome. So what did you all walk away with? What size trophy? And
well, we walked away with the third place trophy, and it's a good size. And we walked away with a Spirit Award.
With the Spirit Award. Awesome, wonderful. So now, are you still cheering?
Yes, I am now cheering at the Wildcats in Windsor.
The Wildcats in Windsor, okay. So how's that?
It's going good. I'm getting all my tumbling that I need.
So cheering seems to be your thing. So now, would you branch out into anything else in that capacity, or are you just going to stick with the cheering?
Well, when the spring comes, I'm going into track.
Okay, you're going to do track. Wonderful. All right, awesome. I mean, you're 15 and you've already went for nationals at Disney World in Orlando, and you came in 3rd place. So at 15, I mean, you got to feel pretty good about yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now what are some of the long-term goals in your life? You're in the 9th grade. Have you started thinking about what you would like to be in life?
I want to go to college for
Okay.
business.
Okay.
Because I want to go into I want to do cosmetology,
Okay.
but I want to open my own hair salon.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like you want to be an entrepreneur as well.
Yes.
So she wants to go to college, she wants to do cosmetology, and she wants her own salon. So those are some nice goals that you already have in place. I love it. I love it. And you are the oldest in your family, or are you the
The oldest girl, but the
oldest
second
girl.
oldest.
the second oldest? Okay. So how is that with your siblings?
Well, it's kind of different because my older brother is off to college now.
Okay.
So I don't have like somebody I could go home to as an older sibling and tell him everything that's going on. But I do have a younger brother
Yes.
that acts like he's my older brother,
Okay.
and I have a younger sister.
Okay. So now, do you feel like you have to take the place of that older brother that's going off to college, or how do you feel, along with the siblings and stuff?
Well, yeah, I have to take the place as my older brother because now my little brother doesn't have somebody he can talk to,
Mm-hmm.
like a boy figure. So now he has to come to me, and I have to be like, oh, well, yeah, you should do this, you should do that. Don't do this, don't do that.
Okay. Well, that's an awesome responsibility, but I know it probably gets a little hard sometimes, but I award you for, standing in those shoes and being what you're supposed to be to your younger siblings.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danaye. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
You're welcome.
And we're going to switch over to Dream. And Dream, you're how old?
8 years old.
And what grade?
3rd.
3rd grade. Okay. So now tell me what you like about school.
My favorite part of school is reading because I like to read a lot.
Okay.
And my second favorite is social studies.
Oh,
And then I really like science.
you really like science? What is it that you really like about science?
Well, we get to do fun experience. My teacher gets to bring in stuff, and we get to see what happens when we put them together.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going on a field trip to I forgot his name. We're going to a field trip there for social studies and science.
And science. So are you looking forward to the field trip?
Yes.
Okay. So are there some other things that you love about school? Is there anything that you're doing as far as activities or anything in school?
Well, we was doing this unit in gym. It was my really favorite part about gym was that we was doing gymnastics. So for that unit for that month, all we did was gymnastics.
Okay. And you enjoyed that.
Yes.
So now what do you do? Do you cheer or do you do gymnastics yourself, or what do you do as far as?
Well, 2 days after my sister started, I started gymnastics there,
Mhm.
and I really started to get into it, and we call it tumble class, and I get into learn all kinds of flips and stuff.
You like that?
Yes.
Now, did you cheer at all before?
Well, I did, but I really didn't like it.
You didn't care for that. Okay,
Yes.
so but you prefer the gymnastics.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, it really had, and you are the baby in the family.
Yes.
And how is that, being the baby?
Good, because I get to tell everybody what to do.
You get to tell everybody what to do?
Kind of.
Kind of, okay, all right. This has been great. The two of you have been wonderful, Danaye and Dream, and we thank you all for even wanting to be on the Vision of Hope show. All right, so Tasheena Lee, thank you so much for coming to the Vision of Hope. Certainly you have been an encouragement to the people that are listening. And again, we love having you. We'll have you back.
Thank you.
This has been the Vision of Hope show. and I am your host and your producer. And I believe you with this. You can make it.